Alright, so I've got this Husqvarna all-wheel drive. The guy dropped it off, wanted a tune-up, oil change, blade balanced, all that good stuff. And when I took a look at it, it was like, holy crap. Look at all the oil that's running out of there. It's all dark and burned. And I checked the oil and it was definitely low and it was definitely still black. So he said it was running really struggling, and you can hear knocking. So it is running, but you can hear it, you know, knocking and just laboring to run. You know what I mean? So the question is, where is it coming from? And while it was running, I took a quick look around. I was trying to see if it's a blown head gasket or something. I didn't see anything. Didn't look like anything was coming out of the valve cover. But it looks like, all through here. I mean, it's just covered. But you can see the head gasket up here. And it looks okay. I can't see too far underneath there, but I'll definitely take a look. And yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that, going, dude, you got more problems than just needing an oil change. Now I looked up under here. It doesn't look like looks like there's some oil. You can see it here on the front. But I was trying to look up in there at the seals and all that stuff. The seals look good. It's just oil that's coming out down here and dripping down. There's usually a weep hole up here in the front, and I think that's where that's coming from. But I was telling them, look, I got to dig into it. No promises, but it's definitely leaking oil somewhere, and it looks like it was running really, really hot, because he was still using it. He was just he just thought it was just running bad. Ooh, look at all that. Wow. And the funny thing, first thing I was thinking, maybe he's got too much oil in there. It's coming out of here, dripping down. So checking the oil was the first thing I did, and it was low. Usually when I see something like this where it's coming out and it's hard to run, I was like, you got too much oil, But I don't know in this case, so let's dig into it and find out. Alright, so that is pretty nasty. So I'm going to just clean some of the crap off of here first. And I know it was running, so the carburetor must not be that bad, but I'm just trying to clean it up before I dig into it a little bit. Is it the valves? I don't know. I'm going to definitely take a look at that, take the cover off, and given it was knocking and blowing oil back here, so maybe the piston ring there's just so much blowback, Maybe there's so much blowback on it that it's just blowing all the oil back through here and just all over the place. But I warned him. It's like, all right, it's probably not going to be pretty. But yeah, see all this, the head gasket looks okay. because I sure didn't hear any hissing, and it has enough compression to run. But he said it would, you know, bog down pretty easily, you know, going through tall grass or whatever. So you can see all the oil's just all black. Okay, so I'll clamp that down so the brake won't be coming into play. There's some compression. It does seem pretty. That should be top dead center. And that one's awfully loose. So, let me take the spark plug off so I can rotate it a little easier. And I want to take a look at the spark plug anyway, see how fouled up it is. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of junk in there. Hear that? It's right in here somewhere. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get it closer to you. It's right at top dead center, and it's making that noise. So that's where the clanking is, the knocking is coming from. So I wonder if you hear, yeah, well, I don't know. This one's tough to figure out, isn't it? But that is pretty loose. All right, it's almost off. I don't know if you can see too well. Whee. A lot of buildup there. So is that where it was, all the oil's leaking out of down here at the bottom? Or was that just when I was taking it off? Well, even with it so gunked up, it's still, the valves are operating and they're sealing. Man, that is nasty. I don't feel any scoring. See any. Well, I don't hear that knocking anymore, do you? Was the buildup so bad that it's just knocking on the, it's bottoming out there, you know, when you're at top dead center? Maybe. So I'm gonna go in here and clean some of the buildup and see if we still hear that knocking. It just might be bottoming out on the flat surface here. It's so built up that there's a little movement on the piston, but That still might be the problem. The piston rings could be worn out and it's just piston slapping around. But all right, yeah, this is a messy one. So I'm going to go in and clean some of this crap off. And all right, so I cleaned most of it off, all the caked on stuff. And same here, but you can still see the piston kind of moving back and forth. And what I'm noticing here at top dead center, it's jutting out past the cylinder there. So that's where the knocking is coming from. And I can feel it right there. I can feel it hitting the head cover. So it's bottoming out. Even after I cleaned a lot of that stuff off, you can see where the piston right here is sticking out. Never seen that before. And this is a steel brush, so it's really scraping it off. Okay, well, there it is again. I was about to say I almost don't feel it, but there it is again. I felt it. Yep, there it is, top dead. So that was, a lot of the knocking was coming because it was so caked on. I mean, it's bottoming out now. So you can imagine what it was doing with all that caked on carbon deposits there. I'm just going to make sure I got all this stuff off of there. And I'm going to go ahead and put it back together and see how it runs. Alright, so I moved over here in the shade, but you can see I put the head back on, you know, gave it a good clean, put the head back on, and I just adjusted the valves. You can see this one down here, the exhaust one, was just way loose. Unbelievably. I don't know how it got that loose. But it's in there. And I'll just put it all back together. And I guess I need to run some silicone sealant on this one, yeah. And right there, oh, that's not bad, because sometimes when you're taking them off, prying them, you'll bend the metal right there, but that's really not bad. But I'll get all that junk off of there and put new sealant. That's how black that oil is. Yes, sir. That was some nasty stuff. Alright, I'm going to try to start it. Everything's in place except for the air filter. Changed the oil. Still got a lot of cleanup to do. I just want to see how it's running. Hopefully it's not going to blow up on us. Much better than it was. You see all the black smoke that came out of there? Because there's just so much crap in that muffler. But it cranked right up, and it doesn't have the knocking that I was hearing before. But I'm sure I'll have to power wash this thing, and then I'll try it again. I just want to run it a few times, get it good and hot, and make sure this is going to run for this guy. Phew, it is hot. Not too bad in the shade, but I think that got it. I've never seen one with so much buildup caused by the exhaust valve. So much buildup on the cylinder inside the head that the piston was bottoming out on it and making all kinds of noise. But man, that mower was looking pretty ugly there. And you can tell the color of that oil, it needed to be changed anyway, but it was so black. I'm sure this engine was just running really, really hot, you know. So I'm just going to give it a good power wash and then run it for a while, and I guess I'll do my yard with it just to stress test it and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. So, well, that's it for this video. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video. Bring it here. Yes, sir. One more? One more? Ready? Ready? All right.